Today, guys, I wanted to talk about the record label called Atlantic Records. This record label has been known to cause dissension amongst music artists, especially female rappers. They are also known for exploiting and preying on poor artists that just want their bills paid and music heard, which is why they offer so many 360 deals. They've been caught on numerous occasions using bots to increase YouTube views and using streaming farms in different countries to boost numbers for their artists. Of course, Atlantic has denied all of these allegations, and they claim to have never used bots for any of their artists. Rumor has it that Nicki Minaj at one point was supposed to sign to Atlantic, but because she chose to sign with Young Money, they decided to launch a smear campaign against her. Because they couldn't get to her, their next best option was to bash her or to get a clone to replace her, essentially. Let's start with British rapper named Lady LaShore, who was offered $250K by Atlantic to diss Nicki Minaj.
Lige, is it actually true that you got offered $250K to write a diss track for Nicki and you turned it down?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
What?
Are you only hearing about this now?
I remember hearing about it at the time, but I've never had a chance to actually speak to you about it.
Oh, yeah, no, literally, yeah. Genuinely, that's what happened. And that just came from me doing a cover of Look At Me Now, you know, Busta Rhymes. It went on World Star, and then like Atlantic Records was trying to reach out. Fast forward, I'm sitting down in front of this guy with my manager at the time, and he's just like, yeah, we basically want you to do a diss track to Nicki Minaj. This is after I played him my whole like EP or whatever I've got coming out. And it's like he didn't really care about it. And I just knew something wasn't right. And I went away, I'm not gonna lie, I went back on the flight home, I was bawling, because I'm thinking, yo, this might be my only opportunity to get my mum a house. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't, because fast forward, then Nicki invited me to her tour. And yeah, man, so
that's that
you always have to go with your gut instinct, man, and
you
integrity.
still got Mumsy a house as well.
This is what I'm trying to say. It took a bit long.
Apparently, this wasn't the first time they tried doing this, because rapper Cupcake also talked about being offered $250K, and she also turned them down the same way that Lady LaShore did. Also, rapper Azalea Banks called out Atlantic CEO Craig Coleman for trying to replace Cupcake with Lizzo and trying to replace Nicki with Cardi B. So the running theme for Atlantic is to offer people money, and if you turn them down, they will make your life a living hell. Nicki was dominating for so long that they needed someone who was gullible enough to take the bait, and of course they were able to find Cardi B. Rapper Cardi B is currently signed to Atlantic, and we all remember the infamous shoe throwing incident that took place because Nicki allegedly liked a post concerning Cardi's daughter, which Nicki vehemently denied and basically stated it was a fake tweet. So I guess the shoe throwing incident was for a fake tweet that never really happened. Many people have claimed that this incident was cooked up by Atlantic Records to permanently take out Nicki Minaj from female rap, and this is when the Nicki hate train really took off. Cardi would go on to win awards and a Grammy right on the heels of attacking Nicki. So, in essence, Cardi was rewarded for bad behavior, and in my opinion, Atlantic couldn't have set this up any better. You know, with Cardi having a hot temper and probably seeing a tweet that popped out of nowhere of Nicki randomly shading her and her kid. Like, you know, it only makes sense for Cardi to go off because that's just who she is. She goes off ranting. She's been caught lurking, or some people would say stalking, Nicki Minaj on multiple occasions. She's been caught watching her Instagram, following Nicki Minaj topics, saving Nicki's documentary on her phone, hiring Nicki's former hairstylist and manager, and etc, etc. She's pretty much following the footsteps and everything that Nicki did in the music industry. Like, she's right on her heels feels. It's a little bit creepy, but you know, follow the formula that works, I guess. I don't know. These could all be coincidences, but how many coincidences can you really have until, you know, you start to think, is like this person mirroring me, trying to form to become me? Even Nicki now believes that the industry is trying to replace her with Cardi. In the remix of Princess Diana, she stated they tried to clone her image. On the Joe Budden podcast, she also claimed that people came together to try and end her, and she even believes they're trying to use voodoo on her. Ooh. The industry doesn't really like Nicki, but yet they will put people in place like a Cardi B to mimic her every single waking moment and moves. She also stated this in her song, We Go Up. In some ways, I do feel bad for Cardi because Atlantic used her, and now that they're done with her, because the plan to take down Nicki didn't work, Nicki is still here. Like, I guess they just pushed Cardi off to the side and they moved on to other people. I don't know. And last but not least, we have singer K Michelle, who was also signed to Atlantic earlier on in her career. Atlantic wanted her to be the next Mary J. Blige. In her song Just Like Jay, she said, I walked away from Atlantic because they wanted me to be Mary J, and the whole time I was thinking, who the hell gonna be K? When asked a question about this song, K Michelle said something really important, that at some point you want your own identity, to be who you are, and that is what Cardi B missed. She needs her own identity. She is literally living in the shadow of Nicki Minaj, and luckily for K Michelle, she didn't fall into the trap of Atlantic. She wanted her own identity, because guess what? There can never be another Mary J. Blige. There can never be another Nicki Minaj. So why not be yourself? Both K Michelle and Cardi B are love and hip hop girls, and in my honest opinion, Atlantic targeted these women because they probably got a sense of desperation from them. You know, K Michelle said something to the effect of not having a brand when she was on the Breakfast Club prior to Love and Hip Hop, and as we all know, Cardi B was a stripper who was using music as some sort of come up, but we all know that the lady was never really a rapper. It was just a gig that, you know, paid off. Like, come on, y'all. Like, you could sense the desperation from them. The only difference between the two ladies is that, no shade, K Michelle actually comes from music. You know what I mean? Like, she comes from music. She comes from that background of like yodeling. Like, the lady is talented. No shade, but I'm just being honest with you. Like, she comes from this, which is why she wanted her own identity, because she knows who she is musically. And also another difference between the two ladies is that K Michelle was able to put out 4 relatively okay albums, in my opinion. You know, some of them I liked them, some of them I didn't really think they were that great, but she stayed true to who she is, and that is all that really matters. She didn't fall into Atlantic's antics. Cardi, on the other hand, is stuck, unfortunately, and now all of a sudden she's scared of putting out music even though she's a Grammy award winner. Like, the math is not mathing. Something's not adding up over in Atlantic with that. Cardi has anxiety. I'm just like, Cardi, look up the word anxiety. Have you been diagnosed by a doctor? You know, everybody loves to throw around the word anxiety. I have anxiety. Girl, have you been diagnosed? Do you take medication for this? Or are you just saying this because this is the popular word of the decade? I have anxiety. I'm so scared. Like, what is it that you're so scared about if you've had so much success, if you've had so many awards, if they've given you everything? Like, what are you so possibly scared of? Like, it's not adding up for me. It's never adding up. And in my opinion, I think Atlantic will need another strategy, because the 250K offers and the payola allegedly are no longer working, okay? The push is no longer there for Cardi B, which is probably why she's so anxious and why she's so scared to put out out music because they're not giving her the money that they used to give her. All right, they're not pumping all of that money into her. Atlantic is the root of all of these clones and discord in female rap mostly. And in my honest opinion, I believe that Atlantic is the root of all evil. No one should want to be a clone because you're essentially stripping yourself of your own identity and what makes you unique, because there's literally only one you. So why would you want to be somebody else's clone? Why would you want to be paid to diss somebody? Why would you want to basically forget who you are and embody somebody else's personality or somebody else's walk in the music industry? It's quite weird. But you guys tell me what you think. Do you guys think that Atlantic is the root of all evil in female rap, or do you not? Let me know.